owning a house or building a house, investing the same money into your business, or creating a financial freedom, for the future. Most of us, I talk to a lot of our artisans, I talk to a lot of people, and when they start to get money from the business that they are running, when they start to get money from the contract, when they start to get money from the salary, a lot of us start to save money or start to buy the land, as we do it in Ghana, and then we start to put the block there. We start to buy blocks and we start to build houses, or our house. Most people want to own their own house, which is a good thing, but very few people think of how to build a financial future, how to build financial freedom. So the wisdom of most of us is that once you start to get money, you have to buy a land and go and build your house, or you have to those who qualify for mortgage then would want to, the moment they work and the bank can give them mortgage, then they want to buy a house and start to pay it bit by bit. My understanding is that it's better you build a conduit to bring in more money before you start to spend to build a house or buy a house. The idea that you have to save to go and buy a house, or you have to take mortgage to buy a house, a lot of people will be frustrated all their lives with their finances, because then you have to work all the time to pay the mortgage, or you have to take money from that little business to go and build that house. And if it's, the other thing people say is that renting is that expensive, therefore they would want to own their house. I think that whether you own a house or you rent directly, everybody pays some kind of rent, because if you rent 2-bedroom house, maybe your electricity will be that small. Maybe a lot of things that you pay, the repairs are even sometimes borne by the owner. Now, when the money you need to build the same 2-bedroom house, when you're renting 2-bedroom house, let's say it's 500 or let's say 800 Ghana cedis a month. So the year, the maximum that you are paying is less than maybe 10,000 cedis. If you want to build the same 2-bedroom house, if you want to build it, you probably will spend 100,000 or more cedis. So, and if you're a small business and you take 100,000 from that company, you're going to struggle. So you build to own that house, but then once you own that house, and a lot of us will even go and buy land at a very far place, which will start to affect the business that we run, especially if the business is in town, because then you have to spend 2 hours, 3 hours every day going in and coming out. So the obsession with owning a house is that heavy. It's an emotional thing. Most people would want to. And as a matter of fact, if you own a house, there is respect. There is some kind of settlement. There's some kind of comfort. There's some kind of pride, some kind of ego massaged. So if your parents see you and you have built a house, your mother will even come and tell you, now that you have a business or you have a job, go and buy a land and build a house. But you see, most people don't know that it's different to have wealth, create riches, and to have a house. They are not the same. To create riches, you are creating a lot of avenues which bring in more revenue, more than what you use. So you have one business. If you pick that money from that little business to go and build a house, which you could have rented for less than 10,000 a year, but now you put in 150,000, 100,000 in it, the business starts to struggle. I would rather grow that 100,000 to 1 million or to 2 million before I start to take something out from it. Saving your little income, salary to go and buy land that you, when you even start to build. Some people buy the land and they leave it for some time before they go to start to build on it, because they didn't save money for it. Then by the time they go to even we start to work on the land, there is another trouble. So we use 2 years, 3 years, 5 years to build a house, 10 years to build a house, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. Some people, even not 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. Some people would build 5 bedroom, 10 bedroom. Especially those who live abroad, they never come to live here, but they want to own a house, 6 bedroom, 10 bedroom, and they work 3 jobs, 4 jobs to come and put money in that building, and yet they are not financially free. A lot of them, if they lose the job, that they have, within 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, there will be problems. So I would rather think through before I would put the little money that I have in owning a house that I am building, not for revenue, not for rent. Even if you were to build for rent, then maybe there will be some kind of some kind of, some allowance, some tolerance. But if you just want to build to own, like we do here, the pride of owning a house is that very high. And so we sacrifice the future finances, the comfort, the wealth that we can build to own a house. And a lot of us are quick to let people know that we have really arrived. We have really reached where we can own a house. And there is some kind of, satisfaction in trying to build and to own a house. So I am talking about owning a house or building a house and having money to build your business or creating the financial future that you need. I would say that look at it critically, because once you even build a house, you still take care of the house. You still have to put insurance on the house. You still have to do a lot of repairs on the house. So if you say that you are tired of paying rent, that owning a house does not solve that. Especially when I know people who built house in a place that now their life is even more complicated, because where they built it is that far, but the ego to own a house is that high. If you're young, if you're before 45, I would say that focus on building that business, focus on building that financial network or financial future. Build it more. Then out of that, you will take some money to go and build that house. Grow the money before you pick anything from it to go and build that house. If you have $1 million and you want to use 100,000 to build a house, it's far better than saving 20,000, go and put it in a land, saving 5,000 to go and put it in a land, And some people even work with the government or work with companies that they will do everything. They will cheat, they will take bribes, they will lie and collect money from people anyway, anyhow, so that they will own a house. I think that you don't have to compromise your values to go and build a house. Owning a house, they say, is only an asset in the bank book. It's not in your book. It's not so much. It doesn't bring much. Even if you want to sell a house, when you are in critical need and you want to sell a house, the price that you have put on that house will not be the price that you will get. So and when you are building, the money that goes in does not come back. It stays in that building. Even if when you are building to rent, it keeps on sucking the money. So let's say you are building maybe 2-bedroom house for even rent. You are going to keep spending before you finish it. Then somebody will come and pay some amount of rent, maybe a year's rent or something. It's still very, very little compared to how much you put in that building. So you are better off building different revenues of income. Different avenues that you start to make money. Build the business to a stage where the business can bring in some level of revenue, or build a lifestyle. Maybe the salary, grow the salary, put the salary in another thing that will grow, put it in another thing that will bring in extra income. Then when you're able to accumulate more than what you need for every month, and when you start to also save something, because you cannot work for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and your lifestyle is so high that when they fire you the next month, you can't pay your rent, you can't pay your children's school fees, you can't pay anything. Some people will also say that, but the salary is that small. Yes, you may be right, the salary could be small, but you also have to devise your lifestyle such that even if the salary is small, you can still find a way to get extra income somewhere. It is your life. It's nobody's house. It's nobody's life. It is your life. And having financial allowance, financial freedom is very much important. It's very much important. People have built houses, especially people, small businesses. They start to see money, then they start to go to build a house, and they put everything in the house. And by the time they see it, everything is gone. Then they start to lose the money. They lock the capital. Some of them even go to take money from the bank that they want to put it in the business. Then they go and build a house with it. I think that you have to upgrade your financial knowledge. Control your emotions. It's better you reduce the stress and forget about what people think or what people say. When you have been able to grow the money to a certain level, you will not need to use 5 years to build that house. When you have grown the money to a certain level, you probably will use 2 months or 3 months, or even go and buy, because now you have capital. And if you have a business that is struggling and you have a house that is there, some of them uncompleted, you are still keeping it, and your business is struggling. No, don't keep that one. Sell it. Keep the money. Put the money in the business. Once the business starts to make money, nobody will tell you to buy a better house. So take care of that which brings in the money. Take care of the business. Take care of the work that you do. Make sure you equip yourself. You get more skill. Then you can grow that business. Then you can grow that, and then you can buy that house. So it's more to build that network, that infrastructure of wealth. Where to invest the money, you have to look for that. Where to grow how to grow the business. Make sure the business is comfortable. Take care of the business before you start to put everything in a house. Don't listen to your mother, your friends. Don't listen to your father. Don't listen to anybody who's trying to tell you, now that you have started to see this money, go and buy land, go and build a house. And you're 25 years, you're 30 years, and you're rushing to build. Where is your future? That's why most people become thieves. That's why most people become corrupt, because they can't withstand the pressure that comes from the society. That's why most people jam their businesses, destroy them, because they just want to own a house. If your strategy is to own a house, and if success to you is to own a house,